Hello everyone, so today on Netflix they premiered Blonde, which is an NC-17 rated film that comes in at about 2 hours and 45 minutes long, directed by Andrew Dominic. So it was written for the screen by him, but is based off the novel by Joyce Carol Oates. And this film stars Ana de Armas as Marilyn Monroe, which this film depicts the life of her, and of course, well, the persona of Marilyn Monroe, that's Norma Jean, being two in the same, created for herself. So without further ado, let me get into my review for Blonde on Netflix. So before I get into it too much, I do want to say that I don't know a whole lot of the true history of, again, Marilyn Monroe's life. I know a lot of it was very, very tragic, and just there was a lot of exploitation within her career, within her personal life. And I know that the novel that this movie is based off of it was a work of fiction. So same thing is going to be this movie, where a lot of it is dramatized in a lot of ways, but I know that there was a lot of real dark and depressing context within her life, and that's what the novel focused on, and that's what this movie thus focuses on. And this movie, I mean, with the NC-17 rating, is very visceral in a lot of ways in terms of its violence, the exploitation that she was put through by so many men and producers, even her mother. Like, there's a lot of things in this movie that are very dark and disturbing, but I found went into a very good light to, again, just show how troubled of a person that Marilyn most likely would have been from, again, to just, again, all the exploitation within her life, and how terribly awful a lot of the circumstances were, which made her creates the persona of Marilyn Monroe to protect herself in a lot of ways. But again, too, in a lot of ways, it damaged her, made her not realize who she was, and kind of in ways put her in a lot more trouble, because again, too, just the persona that she created to protect herself hurt her in so many ways. And yeah, no, it's a very tragic film that I found was filmed very beautifully within the tragedy. The cinematography is absolutely stunning, and I found there is a good play. It might annoy some people, but there's a good play between black and white sequences to full-on color sequences, and kind of the meaning behind each of the sequences is something that was, well, just very, very unique. And again, to just the meanings behind all of it were something that I found just very entertaining to watch. It definitely is able to help distract you a little bit, again, from the very visceral and dark context that this movie dives into. But also part of that is just the absolutely clinic of a performance that Ana de Armas puts on in this film. She is perfect in terms of look, acting, expressions, all that stuff as Marilyn Monroe. And yeah, just it's pretty incredible what she's able to accomplish within this film. You could tell she really had the chance to sink her teeth into the role and truly experience the character and bring that melancholic happiness, in a sense, or melancholic kind of role of survival into the film. And just all throughout her performance too, she was fantastic in it, and easily one of the best performances that I've seen all year. There's just a lot of really awful things that, of course, are depicted within this movie, a lot of very dark things that are depicted within this movie, but the way that she's able to bring out the vulnerability within, I think, herself and within the character was something truly special. And again, too, just one of the best performances that anyone's going to see this year. I know we're going to see her up for many nominations when it comes to award season, but her performance truly does carry this movie through, again, what can at times feel like a very overly long script, an overly long movie that drags in, well, a lot of ways. It does drag in some places, and a lot of, again, to just the scenery and whatnot doesn't feel like it really blends in all together. A lot of it doesn't feel like it explains everything going on through her life, her persona. it's a long movie that felt way over long and it's kind of overstayed its welcome in certain scenes, but then again, there's a lot of times where it really brings itself back and it's a very, very strong movie. So a lot of conflicted feelings watching this movie, and again too, it's something that I can't recommend for everyone because of the subject matter that it goes into. And again too, I know some of the historical inaccuracies being based off a work of fiction about a real person's life, but what it was trying to focus on in terms of exploitation within the industry and just to the sexism and absolute patriarchy of the time, just again to how exploitive and awful it was, really works its way into the narrative of this film and shines in a lot of the commentary that it does. So really, with everything taken together, I'm gonna have to give Blonde a 7 out of 10. I did really, really enjoy it, and I do think it's well worth a watch, but it's got to be one of those things that you go into knowing that it might ruin your mood, spoil your mood. It's a tough watch in a lot of scenarios, and I do feel like there's going to be people who skip certain scenes because again, it's very graphic, it's very visceral in a lot of the ways, but effective in the way that it does it. But if you've seen Blonde, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. And if you like this review, definitely give it a thumbs up. And you can check out everything I do on this channel through a playlist. Well, links them up top here for convenience sake. Thank you for subscribing and turn that little ring on so you know when I upload new videos. If you want to check out everything I do on this, if you want to check out the description of this video and my channel bio, there's a link to the Media Mountain, which is my Discord where we talk about movies, video games, comic books, TV, pretty much everything's awesome around the world. So you can definitely join that amazing community, help make it even more amazing than it is already, and it's just awesome, guys.
Sky blue eyes, I see a world behind them. No more time sinking into the silence.